The WWE's final stop on the road to WrestleMania ran through SmackDown Live tonight on this Tuesday, March the 28th, 2017, and it was not good. It was not good. And do you think I'm crazy? Stick around and find out why right here, right now, on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. So SmackDown Live is usually my favorite night of the week, and we did have two fantastic moments tonight, and we're going to get into that, but we're going to start out by telling you guys why I think tonight's SmackDown Live absolutely failed on multiple levels to get hype built for WrestleMania in any way. There are so many mistakes that it's hard to pick the first one to start off with. So we're just going to go in order as I pull up my notes here. SmackDown Live begins with the contract signing between Shane McMahon and AJ Styles. And my question to you guys is, why are none of these contracts signed as these matches are announced? Why are we waiting 5 days before WrestleMania to sign a piece of paper? I know this match just came about and everything, but come on. Let's get shit moving. And for nothing of any importance to have happened during this contract signing makes it all the more unnecessary. It was just a reason to feature these two competitors, Shane McMahon and AJ Styles, and also Daniel Bryan as the mediator. And it was your typical just back and forth trash talking interview. It was a little intense. I didn't mind it. I mean, AJ Styles was great. Shane McMahon pretty much coming out there saying to AJ that, you know, I respect you and I'm going to do my very best to perform at your level. And that AJ Styles came to the WWE with a splash, and he knows what AJ Styles is all about, and he intends to prove to AJ Styles that he's every bit as good as AJ Styles is. AJ comes back with one of the most brilliant responses that there ever would be, which is, you know what, Shane, there's no ladders, there's no special stipulations to this match. This is a wrestling match, and you are in the ring with the phenomenal AJ Styles, the greatest wrestler in the world, and there is no way Shane O'Mac can keep up, and he is going to wrestle circles around the $1 Million Kid. And I thought that was a great response. I was very, very into AJ Styles' demeanor. The way they were talking to each other was great, but the whole segment was just really another contract signing after we just had a contract signing last night between Triple H and Seth Rollins, which is a match that has been coming for months and months and months. It's starting to become repetitive and boring, and you know, maybe it was a fair segment. It wasn't a bad segment, but contract signing, we could have done something else. The women's segment. Here comes probably one of the biggest mistakes SmackDown could have made for the entirety of the year, because I don't understand the booking, and I don't understand the logic here on how this match ended up. Now, it has nothing to do with the winner and the loser of the match. We had Carmella going one-on-one against Becky Lynch. And Carmella and Becky Lynch, while they were competing, would be interrupted by Mickie James, causing a disqualification. Daniel Bryan comes out and makes it a tag team match because we had Alexa Bliss and Mickie James both at ringside. This match ends up going on and on and on. 20 minutes almost through 2 commercial breaks. And they never usually give the women that much of time on the TV show. And they feel that they're deserving of this spotlight, and absolutely they are. But you're going to put them on the pre-show for WrestleMania? You'll give them 20 minutes prime time in the middle of your show to build a match for the pre-show? And then, not only is that a mistake, and then there is the bigger of the two mistakes. After this match ends, and Carmella gets a quick opening for a 1-2-3 count, and she and Natalya would win this match, Naomi comes out. Naomi comes out to save the day as the four girls would keep on fighting in the middle of the ring, and came out and announced to the world after the ring would clear that she is going to be in the women's title match at at WrestleMania for SmackDown Live. 5 days. You couldn't wait 5 days? Then I need somebody to explain to me what the whole point of her winning the title and dropping the title was. It is so pointless now. And you took away yet another WrestleMania moment from somebody who could have really benefited from it. I thought that was the point of this whole thing. I didn't think she was really as injured as they were letting on, much like what they're doing with Seth Rollins, and she was going to make a surprise return in her hometown. But 5 fucking days before WrestleMania, you couldn't hold your wad 5 more days. What was the purpose of ruining this for this girl? The pop she would have got, she's still going to get a huge pop because she's from Orlando. She's coming out. Most likely, she's now going to be the one to win this match. You've got everybody thinking this way. She's going to get her title back from Alexa Bliss, probably by not pinning Alexa Bliss, which can continue their rivalry on into the year. And not only did they ruin that, but they ruined the whole concept of the match, because Tom Phillips officially announced that it is now a 6-pack challenge, which totally eliminates the fact that we can have outside surprises coming into this match at all, where it was at first open-ended. Every available woman on the roster, Alexa Bliss versus all. It was a great thing they had going. Definitely piqued my interest. If you listen to me talk about it on yesterday's review, I was very excited pretty much for only that match. And Shane and AJ will probably be okay. Probably going to be one of the better matches of the night for WrestleMania. But you took all the wind out of it. You took all the intrigue, all of the reasons to watch it. You took it all away by sending Naomi out there, ruining that surprise, and then changing the match altogether and just making it a 6-pack challenge. 2 epic failures. What was the point? But now let's talk about something positive, and that has become routine around here when we talk about Miz TV. Last week, we had the Total Bellas bullshit skits, which I thought were fantastic. The Miz and Maurice put on a hell of a performance, mocking John Cena and Nikki Bella to a T. Absolutely fucking perfectly. I could not keep myself from laughing as hard as I tried to not enjoy it. There was no stopping it. The Miz is great at what he does. His impersonation of John Cena was absolutely fantastic. Maurice was great in her role. She looked great with the dark hair, by the way. Even my wife said maybe she should dye her hair black permanently, but let's not jump the gun here. Fantastic segments last week. We continue tonight with the epic season finale of Total Bellas bullshit during Miz TV. And once again, they played their parts perfectly, poking fun at the fact that Cena's never going to marry her. They had Daniel Bryan over for dinner in this episode, played by The Miz, on his knees, doing the yes and the no, and it was absolutely perfect. If you watch it, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't like it, then you don't have a sense of humor, because it was absolutely perfect comedy. That was pro wrestling That's the way you do it. That's the type of skits you do. That's how you entertain things, not how you doing things with the New Day. You do it the way The Miz and John Cena are doing it. And I did not have any care at all about this match. I was not looking forward to it at all. But just strictly through the talents, through the microphone abilities of John Cena and The Miz, I am more intrigued about how this match is going to turn out. I think, and I've said this before, that these guys maybe feel slighted that they've been put into this mixed tag team match. And that's not saying anything negative against their partners. It's just this is WrestleMania and maybe they wanted something bigger. But they're being put in this entertainment match, this specialty match, and they're going all out to make sure that you and I want to see them more than anything else. And so far, that is certainly the case. The promo work has been phenomenal. And tonight was even better. John Cena tore The Miz apart. Finally, after all of this, John Cena and Nikki Bella come down, and Cena just tore him a new asshole. Pretty much saying, you know, everything you're criticizing me for doing, everything you're claiming Nikki's doing, it's what you guys are doing. You begged the WWE to have your wife with you because you know she makes you look better. That's what you're saying you're doing to me. It says you're not the it couple, you're the shit couple. You know, like he just tore into Maurice especially. What are you even doing here? They didn't want you back here. That's why they didn't ask you back. It had nothing to do with my girl Nikki Bella. They didn't want you back here, and I wonder why. Because what do? You're nothing. You were nothing, and you're still nothing. What? I'm John Cena. Come over here. I know you want to slap me. Go ahead, slap me, and then she's going to knock your teeth out. It was a fantastic segment. I'm paraphrasing as always, but Cena totally dissed the hell out of The Miz. I loved it. Nikki Bella did not say much. John Cena said it all, and at the very, very end, Nikki Bella had her little 2 cents to put in there and threatened Maurice and told them that they're going to kick their ass. Maybe about, 10 seconds or so they gave her to talk. But it was great. It absolutely did what it's supposed to do. This was proper booking to push a match and bring up the level of intrigue. 2 masters of the microphone. Absolutely fantastic. And at this point, you really don't know who's going to win this match. In your head, it's kind of a toss-up. You pretty much know it's going to be John Cena because he wins everything. But the way they're doing things nowadays, you just never know. We had a useless tag team match that I don't even want to talk about. That the only reason to have this match was to add people to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. The only reason they had this was for that. And pretty much confirmed the fact that the SmackDown Tag Team Championships will not be defended at WrestleMania, as American Alpha will now be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Absolute fucking horrible. Horrible. I was hopeful that Matt and Jeff Hardy would get involved somehow. I don't know. I mean, I'm reading things wrong in my mind. Like, I just don't see the value of putting these guys in a battle royal that means nothing except that they're all going to get paid. And I can't imagine that the other guys on the card like the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Back in the day, if you were not good enough to be on the card, you didn't get a sympathy match. There was no big match, big battle royal, so that everybody gets a piece of the pie in WrestleMania 17, probably the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Or WrestleMania X7, however you want to call it. They didn't do these things back then. They had a gimmick battle royal. That wasn't to give anybody a payday. That was for us. And they couldn't have made that much for that night, all those legends that appeared in that thing. We're talking about a yearly thing where they're going to put everybody who they have no idea what to do with in this match just so everybody gets a little piece of WrestleMania. Is that really bad looking from the outside? No, it's not really a bad thing. but it's not really a good thing either. And finally, after this, we had Bray Wyatt versus Luke Harper, which was a very good, very competitive match. Luke Harper looked fantastic until the end, because he pretty much lost because Bray Wyatt outsmarted him, and it made him look terrible. I was expecting Randy Orton to come out, cause some type of disqualification, maybe give Luke Harper the win, maybe start to elevate him since he looked fucking great. He had a new outfit on. He's a beast in the ring. He can absolutely go 110%. Bray Wyatt did his part. This was a great match. Little too quick, but it was a great match. Back and forth, only to have Bray Wyatt defeat him, not because he's better, but just because he's the champ. And he can't lose. Now all of a sudden they can't lose. You could have had him lose by disqualification. He didn't have to get pinned. He could have been drawn out of the ring by Randy Orton, got counted out. Give Luke Harper the win, which can continue their feud after WrestleMania. I think Bray Wyatt versus Luke Harper and Randy Orton in the mix would be a fantastic kickoff point for this year after WrestleMania, because Luke Harper's time has come. You can't keep this guy down for long. JBL's not right on a lot of things, but for a long time he said he can see Luke Harper as a future world champion, and so could I. I've said it myself. He's got the look, he's got the height, he's got the big, stature, he's got everything that Vince McMahon loves. Maybe he just wants him to trim his beard, but he doesn't have a thing against beards, because look at Braun Strowman. Luke Harper is leaps and bounds better than Braun Strowman. But for some reason they're keeping him down, and maybe they're afraid he's going to outshine Bray or outshine Randy Orton, and why not? Good for him. Then you'll have a new superstar. That's how we find these things out in the first place. So that's pretty much what we had here. Bray Wyatt defeat Luke Harper by pinfall with nothing of Randy Orton until the final minute of the night, where Randy Orton comes up on the Titantron, starts playing more mind games with Bray Wyatt, has this pretty cool little scepter thing, I forgot what he called it, he sticks it into the ground, and we had like all this mystical special effects and stuff, taking a page from Lucha Underground, starting to really amp the production values, maybe thinking ahead because of the impending arrival of the Hardys. Maybe they're starting to get the fans to become accustomed to some weirdness. Bray Wyatt certainly opened that door already a long time ago. But here we are, Randy's on screen. He's got little shit flying all around him. Threatens Bray Wyatt. We have the Viper, an actual Viper, show on a screen and attack the camera. And SmackDown was over. And that was it. Fucking fails to really put that match over. It was a good match. I loved it. That was one of the highlights. Cena and The Miz was definitely the moment of the night. They ruined everything about the women on this show. They just tanked it. Absolutely ruined everything. It's as if Vince and Kevin Dunn and the crew from Raw came over, saw what Triple H had planned, and was like, no, this is too good. This is too good. We only have 4 girls to play with. This is too good. You're going to make our girls look bad. We're going to put your girls on the pre-show and just pick 6. Don't even bring back the legends. Just pick these 6 and that's it. Forget Victoria. Forget Kelly. Forget the rumored Eva Mendes. Forget everybody else that we've heard them reaching out to come back and make an appearance in this Battle Royal. I'm sorry, in this Scramble, Alexa Bliss versus All for the championship. Forget it all, because it's going to do much better than what we got planned with Charlotte and Bayley and Nia and Sasha. It's going to totally outshine what we got going. You have to change it. So 5 days out from WrestleMania, all the hype, all the intrigue, swept right out from under the fucking rug, and now we're left with a 6-pack challenge. Absolutely no surprise to it. We know who's in it, and that's going to be the end of it. We don't know who's going to win it for sure. You got 6 very viable options, and we'll talk more about that on our WrestleMania preview and prediction show, which will be up on this channel probably Friday or Saturday. Do not forget to check your notifications for that. That was the end of the show, you guys. That was it. A very rare failure by SmackDown. You know, if Raw was not involved, and this was not a co-branded thing, and it wasn't WrestleMania, I think SmackDown, at least SmackDown's side of the card, holds up better as a pay-per-view, regardless of the changes that they made. The only thing Raw's kind of got going for it on their side is actually this tag team match, now that it's a ladder match, and you have the Hardys out there. You got the Hardys hanging over looming their shadow over WrestleMania. They are already overshadowing the whole event. And at this 0 hour, adding the stipulation that the World Raw Tag Team title match is going to be a ladder match, the Kings of the Ladder Match, the greatest tag team in space and time, Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero, just might make their appearance and be on Raw. Because, let's be honest, why would Vince not want them on Raw? Why would he let them go to SmackDown? They are going to be a ratings-generating machine. So they're going to end up on Raw. And that's the absolute best thing that could happen to Monday Night Raw right now. Especially with this incoming draft looming. Who knows what they have in store. But my tepid, medium-temperatured excitement is bubbled, minorly simmering for this Sunday's Ultimate Thrill Ride. I'm not calling it that. We're just going to call it WrestleMania because that's what it is. You know? We don't need an extra tagline. It's the showcase of the immortals, the granddaddy of them all. We have a million other things we can call it. We don't need to add an Ultimate Thrill Ride just because you decided to build a roller coaster on the main set. Totally out of nowhere. And if it's not going to be used, what's the point of building it? I can't imagine they got clearance to build a roller coaster inside of a stadium. It's not impossible. I know that there is a baseball stadium. Well, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure I've heard that there's a baseball stadium somewhere that has a roller coaster in the stadium for people to ride. Correct me if I'm wrong. Leave a comment if you know what I'm talking about. Let me know what it is I'm talking about with that stadium. I'm pretty sure there's one out there. I don't know if it's in Arizona or somewhere out west. I don't know. But I'm getting sidetracked. Anyway. You're spending all this money on roller coasters to build at WrestleMania. Spend money into your show and stop doing so many commercials. Again, a lot of commercials tonight. That was another negative. But that's it. We're not going to waste any more time on the road to WrestleMania. The next stop, tomorrow night, NXT's Road to TakeOver. Is probably going to be much more interesting. The last stop for NXT before the big TakeOver event Saturday night, Bobby Roode versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and I think I'm going to do a review on that just for you, because it's WrestleMania week, and it needs to be special, and we're going to cover everything possible. We even have a couple of little breaking news stories we're going to throw up, so keep your eyes open for that. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the channel, like and share the video. I just messed up my words. I'm sorry. It happens. You guys know. If you've been watching me, you know sometimes things get fumbled. But that's what we do. I'm not doing another take. It's already been like my third try doing this video. I'm not doing another one. And I ain't spending another hour to edit it out. So that's what you get. Alright? This is what you get. Right here on Sledgehammer TV. I am Nick Nightmare. This is Blue the Snowball Microphone. Don't forget to check out the exclusive audio podcasts on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. Thank you so much for joining us, and I am out of here.